In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the solver in Excel to find the optimal solutions. All right. So first of all, make sure that you have the solver add-in installed. You can go to the syllabus and in the required materials section, you will find two links to Microsoft's website that includes the instructions for installing the solver add-in. So if you're using a PC, click on the first link or click on the second link if you're using a Mac. Okay, just follow the instructions. And then open up your Excel. You can go to the data to verify whether you have the solver successfully installed. So you should be able to see the solver button, right, in the data tab, okay, at the very right corner, top right corner, there should be the solver. Okay, so this is the Excel file that you can download it from Canvas for the Beaver Pottery example. So we have a template, right, uh, that contains a lot of numbers. Those numbers are variables like 40, 50, 1, 2, 4, 3, 40, 120. We put them in uncolored cells. Those are parameters. We also have some text that help us understand the meaning of each cell, right? And here we have the mathematical model. So again, we are maximizing the profit for the x1 plus 50x2, and we have a bunch of constraints, right? You can see that we have some colored cells, okay, as well. Right? So in this course, we'll be using the blue cells to store the variables, right? So we have x1 and x2, two variables. So we have two blue cells. B10 denotes the number of bowls. B11 represent the number of mugs, right? So x1, x2, right? So initially they're empty. You don't have to put anything in them, or you can put some like random arbitrary value. It really doesn't matter because ultimately they will be filled in, okay, by the solver with the optimal solution. We have one orange cell in which we're going to write a formula to calculate the profit, right, based on the mathematical function that we have in the linear program. So 40x1 plus 50x2. Right, so we should write a formula to actually calculate that. So remember, we have all the parameters already in those uncolored cells. So whenever we need to use a parameter, we just need to refer to the cell in the spreadsheet that contains the parameter. So 40 is in C4 and multiply with x1. So x1 is B10. So plus 50 multiply with x2, which is B11. Okay, so now we have the formula ready. Okay, and here, but you will see 0, okay, in this orange box. So this is the value when that Excel gets when it evaluates this formula, right? Because we have empty blue cells and they're automatically regarded as 0, so we have 0 over here. You can put some value in those blue cells, and you will see that the orange cell will be automatically refreshed. Okay, so Excel will reevaluate the formula using 1 and 3 in this case, right, to calculate the profits. So this basically means when we're making one bowl, 3 mugs, we'll have $190 in profits. Right? But again, you can put any random value here. It really doesn't matter, right? 0, 34, we'll have a new profit, or you can leave them empty, right? And we'll have 0 in the orange cell. We use yellow cells to implement the left-hand side of the constraints, right? So there are two constraints, so we have two yellow cells. So in the first yellow cell, E6, we should express 1x1 plus 2x2, right? So equals, the equal sign tells Excel that we're writing a formula instead of some text. So 1 times x1 plus 2 times x2, right? Okay, so it's also 0 because, again, we have empty blue cells. Plus D7 times B11. Okay, still 0. All right, we also have two purple cells. They're the slack left over, which should be pretty easy to get. The available minus the usage. Okay, and again, we can try to put some numbers in the blue cells, and you will see that those colored cells will be automatically updated. Okay, so now let's remove all those numbers, okay, and they will all be 0 except for the slack. Okay, so now we have the formulas ready. So in other words, we have transformed the mathematical model into a spreadsheet, right? To find the actual optimal solution, we need to go to the Data tab, click on Solver. So there will be a solver window popped out, right? And we need to submit the solver parameters, right? So the objective is the orange cell, and we do have a maximization problem because we want to maximize the profits. The variable cells are the two blue cells, right? And we have the constraints. The yellow cell, two yellow cells, right? The left-hand side should be less than or equal to the two right-hand side values. So here I'm combining, right, this two individual labor and click constraints into one by using the range, right? I'm referring to a range of yellow cells left-hand side and a range of right-hand side values. You can also add those constraints one by one, right? That's totally fine. So they're exactly the same, okay? It's just that by combining multiple constraints into one, this will make the constraints, what we have in the constraints box, a little bit more elegant or concise, right? So we don't have a bunch of constraints in here, right? Especially when we have a super complex problem, and it will be a very long list, right? So this will shorten the list. Make sure you check this box. This is the non-activity constraints, right? And then we'll use the simplex LP method to find the optimal. So the other two are for like nonlinear, so we don't really need to care about them. Then we click on solve, and we'll have in the blue cells 24 and 8. So this is our optimal solution. The best profit that we can get is 1360. Right? And we're using 40 hours of labor, 120 pounds of clay, and the leftover or the stacks are 0 for both constraints. Okay, we can choose to keep the solver solution or go back to the original values, which are basically empty. So let's keep the current solution, and let's generate the sensitivity report. You can select sensitivity and click on OK. Right. 24.8, 1360, and on the left, there will be a new tab called Sensitivity Reports. Okay, so this is the two tables that we'll be using for doing the sensitivity analysis. 24.8, column D shows the optimal solution, and so this is the original objective function, and we have the allowable increase and decrease for the coefficients, right? And in the second table, we have the shadow price, $16 per hour of labor, $6 per pounds of clay. And we have the right-hand side value to be 40, 120, and we have the range, right? In terms of allowable increase and decrease.